在这里我首先要欢迎大家，然后参加今天的那个金砖国际训练营。
Okay, welcome to today's lecture.
同学们大家好，然后今天我们学习的是那个大疆飞行模拟这款软件。
So the lecture is about the basic introduction to the use of Dajiang simulator.
本章的话，我们将会从大疆飞行模拟的软件概述、大疆飞行模拟软件的安装方法，然后遥控器和键盘的操作说明、大疆飞行模拟软件的界面介绍。
I will introduce the overview of Dajiang flight simulator software, the installation method, the instructions for remote control and keyboard operation, the interface of Dajiang flight simulator software, training modular, the use of operation, data acquisition skills. First of all, we need to understand what Dajiang Flight Simulator is and why it is used. Dajiang Flight Simulator is a UAV simulation training software for enterprises and individual users. It stimulates aircraft models and scenes, restores natural and real flight experience, and provides users with a complete solution from basic knowledge teaching to simulator training and operation in practice. Dajiang Flight Simulator can be free from influence of external factors such as site and weather. It has several advantages, like improving practice efficiency, reducing on-site accidents, reducing training costs, etc.
这款软件我们可以使用的遥控器有玉系列的遥控器。
Dajiang Flight Simulator software can support many remote controls, such as Yu series, Spirit series, 精卫 series, Wu series, DJILB2 remote controls, E16, etc. We can also use keyboards to control.
这边左下角这边这个图片就是我们那个大疆飞行模拟这款软件的配置标准。
Look at the table. We can see the computer configuration supporting Dajiang Flight Simulator.
大疆飞行模拟一共可分为3个版本。
Dajiang Flight Simulator can be divided into 3 versions, namely free version, industry standard version, and electric power customized version. The free version can be directly activated and used, while the industry standard version and the electric power customized version need to be purchased on the official website of Dajiang. Please note that one account number can only activate one version rather than several ones.
接下来我给大家说一下这个大疆飞行模拟。
Next, I will explain how to install and download Dajiang Flight Simulator. Please go to the official website of Dajiang and select DJI Dajiang Flight Simulators to download, and then install according to the application prompts.
我们在使用遥控器进行练习的时候，我们需要使用
When using the remote control to practice, we need to use the data cable to connect the remote control to the computer. Once you open the remote control, they connect successfully.
我这边有一款大疆带平板遥控器，我们可以以这个为例，然后进行讲解。就是这一款，我手上的就是这一款遥控器。
Next, we will take the Dajiang remote controller with same display as an example to demo.
我们这款遥控器，
You can see from the picture, the simulator demonstrates that if the remote control cannot be used due to special reasons, you can still use the keyboard to operate. And on the keyboard, P is the pause key, and H is the photographing key. L is for recording. The space is the check on key and jump. O is the automatic return. The return key is the custom menu key. R is the PTZ up key. That is the camera up key.
然后右边的这个按键为 C2 按键，C2 按键在我们模拟器里头代表的是
F is the PTZ down key. C is the angle switch key. V is the flight mode switch key. J can switch the control. M is to open the small map. And I is to introduce the panel.
我现在给大家把这个摇杆装上看一看。它的摇杆，新遥控器的摇杆一般都会藏在它的背。
Then I will install the joystick for you to have a look.
如果因为特殊原因的话，然后没有大疆遥控器，我们也可以采取使用键盘的方式进行控制。
If the remote control cannot be used due to special reasons, you can also connect to the keyboard for operation.
录像为 L 键。
You can select the keyboard in the main interface settings, remote control and the keyboard.
自定义菜单为回车键。云台上转为 R 键，云台下转为 F 键。切换视角为 C 键，飞行模式为 V 键。
On the keyboard, P is the pause, is for pause. H is for photographing. L is for recording. The space is the check on key and the jump key. O is the automatic return. The return key is the custom menu. R is the PTZ up key. That is the camera up key. F is the PTZ down key. C is the angle switch key. V is the flight mode switch. And J can switch the control. M is to open the small map. I is to introduce the panel. WSAD and up, down, left, and right keys are used to replace the two rocker bars of the remote control, respectively. Next, let's have a look at the software interface.
我现在所用的这个，我所打开的这个客户端，它就是大疆模拟飞行的界面。然后我现在登录的这个账号为电力定制版。
This is the interface of Dajiang Flight Simulator.
使用大疆飞行模拟这款软件。
And I use the electric power customized version.
在我们登录账号的右边有一个选项键，可以进行我们的设置，可以调整语言。
Here we can log into the 大疆 account to use it. And in the options, we can set 大疆 Flight Simulator.
也可以调整分辨率。
After logging into the account, click the Run.
在这里，然后我使用的是遥感2模式。遥感2模式在遥控器里代表的是左边这个遥感，上下是油门遥感，左右为方向遥感。
Here we can use the left joystick of the remote control to move up to make a selection, or use the W and S keys of the keyboard to make a selection.
复翼的遥感。
To confirm, you can press the C2 key on the back of the remote control or use the Enter key of the keyboard.
前进遥感。
And for returning, you can press CE on the north of the remote control or use the backspace key of on the keyboard.
它就变换为了油门遥感，左右是复翼遥感。模式3的控制方法为上下为前进和后退遥感。
The way of mode 3.
然后另一边右边的这个遥感是上下为油门遥感，左右为方向遥感。
The left and the right is for the direction. We use the left joystick of the remote controller to toggle left and right to switch the aircraft.
现在我点击运行，大家可以看一下这款模拟器大疆飞行模拟这款软件的进入界面。
Now I will click Start to run, and you can have a look at the interface of the 大疆 Flight Simulator.
我们现在所看到的这个界面，就是大疆飞行模拟的软件主界面。
This is the main interface of 大疆 Flight Simulator software.
连接遥控器时需要使用数据线与电脑连接。
We need to use the data cable to connect the remote control to the
先短
computer
按再长按。
and double click.
遥控器打开之后，什么都不用调整，就可以直接使用。
Once you open the remote control, they connect successfully and you
我
can
们拨动
use
遥控器
the
左侧
flight
的摇
simulator.
杆上下波动，即可切换。也可以选择按键盘的 W 和 S 键进行
If you remove the remote control up and down,
选定模块
or
时，我们可以
you
按
use
遥控器上头的
press
C2
the
键
W and S
进行选
on the
择。
keyboard, we can select the models.
C1 键为返回，
The button is to return.
也可以使用键盘的回车键
You
进
can
行进
also
入。
use the backspace key on the keyboard.
退格键返回。我们选择任意一个模式，即可选择飞行器。
You can choose any
左右推动摇
mode.
杆即
You
可切换
can
飞行器。
switch the different flight simulator,
或者按键盘上的 A 键和 D 键进行切换。
or you can press the key of A or D to switch.
当看到一个模型时，我们上下即可查看该模型的详细数据。
You can get to know more information about the simulator
也可以按键盘
pulling
的 W 和
up
S
and
键来
downs,
看该无人机的详细数据。
or you can also refer to W and S keys on the keyboard to get more information about the simulators.
在这款模拟器里头，每一款的飞机的数据都是不一样的。
Different
有一些飞机它带有
flight
变焦功能，
the
一些飞
simulators
机没
have
有变焦
different
功能。
configurations.
“比如说，我们选择的这个经纬 M2。
Some aircrafts have zoom functions and some don't have. If you choose the longitude M210 RTK, during the flight, we can zoom by clicking the app interface with the mouse from the perspective of image transmission. And the plant protection UAV can turn on or off pesticide spraying through the video button on the remote controller or the key air on the keyboard. Now let's take a look at the training modulars of Dajiang flight simulators. It has 4 modulars available for Dajiang flight simulators, namely skill training modular, free flight modular, entertainment modular, and application training modular. And each modular has different training tasks. Firstly, let's enter the skill training modular. Press C2 button or enter key to select the flight simulator. The skills training mode includes teach score, suspension assessment, line assessment, Huifei electric power inspection and assessment process. Dajiang internal flight skills assessment process. The teacher mode is for aircraft engine teaching guide from scratch to learn the basic operation of the aircraft. And the overhead assessment mode is to provide a series of virtual test scenarios to help practice and test hover skills. Route assessment mode is to use the pedestrian mode under the established route to assess the movement controllability of the aircraft. And the Huifei Power Patrol inspection and assessment process is a series of examination scenarios developed according to the practical assessment process of UTC Huifei Power Patrol inspection. Huifei security assessment process mode is a series of examination scenarios based on UTC Huifei Security's practical assessment process. And the Dajiang internal flight skill assessment process mode is a series of examination scenarios formulated according to the practical operation and assessment process of Dajiang internal training. Next, let's enter the free flight modular. Now select your own aircraft. There are different maps to different training tasks. It has urban model, island mode, training ground mode, mountain mode, and forest mode. Please note that each training mode will teach the system function at the first level. Now let's come to the entertainment modular. There are many interesting training modulars in this part, such as bubble collecting, road racing, tunnel crossing. And what is road racing mode? It is a mode that the aircraft flying along a fixed line, the aircraft must pass through each checkpoint in turn. The shorter the time, the higher the rating. And there are a total of 3 levels, and the difficulty is upgraded in turn. And the tunnel crossing mode is to pass through the energy rain in the tunnel to obtain scores. And if you cross with high speed, you can obtain additional score rewards and evaluation. The bubble collection mode is to collect bubbles on the planned route. The more bubbles collected by UAV within the specified time, the higher the score. Now let's have a look at the application training modular. There are two parts. One is electric power patrol, and the other is the search and rescue. The electric power inspection is to stimulate the daily line inspection and refine the tower inspection process. And the aircraft conducts electric power inspection and other operations. The photos taken can be viewed in the aerial photo album. And the search and rescue is to practice the whole process of search and rescue. In the exercise scenario, understand and master the aircraft search strategy. And in this mode, aircraft is used to find people who are lost in dense forests. If you check the aerial photo album, you can look at those photos. In the simulator setting, we can get to know the setting method. We can get to know the methods. This is the operation of the keyboard. In the general settings, you can change the language, the image quality, resolution, screen settings. Next, I would like to demo the Dajiang Flight Simulator. First, let's select a map. You can unlock it with the remote controller. You can also press C on keyboard to switch the perspectives. You can adjust the angle of TPZ. Or use the R or F on the keyboard. Press the central button on the remote controller. You can change the mode. Or you can press the V on the keyboard to switch. A mode is for the posture. The aircraft won't stop automatically. We have the S mode, which is for the movement. In this mode, the aircraft can fly at a highest speed. Thus, in this model, we can not guarantee their safety. So in the remote controller, tap the shuttle button. You can take photos or press the H key on the keyboard. We can also check the photos in the aerial photo album. So this aircraft now we have chosen has the zoom functions. If you double click the mouse, we can zoom. And the maximum zoom is 30 times. Now let's have a 10-minute rest. Hello, everyone. Let's come back. We will continue the lecture. Just now we get to know the functions of the 大疆 flight simulator. When select the aircraft, we can press the A or D key to switch aircraft, and the W or S key can view the features of the aircraft. You need to have a account of Dajiang. You can get a account from the official website of Dajiang. As you can see, CE button is to return and C2 button is to confirm. If you operate on the keyboard, to return you can press the backspace key, and to confirm you can press return key. You can select the aircraft according to your needs. There are three different aircrafts of Dajiang flight simulators. And this Yu series aircraft is belong to consumer grade drones. We can practice the mirror operation skills and photo taking skills. And this kind of longitude M210 RTK is industry level UAV. It has the zoom camera, the Z30 Yuncai camera has a 30 times optical zoom and a 6 times digital zoom. When using the Jingwei metric 210 RTK aircraft, you can use the mouse to zoom operation at the app interface from the FPV and the image transmission perspectives. And this kind of plant protection UAV can practice the pesticide spraying on the farmland. You can turn on or off pesticide spraying through the video button on the remote controller or the Air key on the keyboard. The skill training modular includes the basic training, skill training, like lion training, suspension training, and the picture you can see from the screen is one kind of the Huifei electric power inspection and assessment process. The teach school mode is used for those who will learn from scratch. In this mode, you will learn the basic operation of the aircraft, like taking off or landing or photo taking. And in the overhand assessment mode, we can practice the single point suspension, multi-point suspension, directional hover, and hanging around. And as for the route assessment mode, we can practice the rectangular route, square route, circular route, and round route, or 8-word route. Huifei electric power inspection and assessment process mode is formulated according to the practical operation and assessment process of UTC Huifei electric power inspection. DJI internal flight skill assessment process mode is a series of examination scenarios formulated according to the practical operation and assessment process of Dajiang internal training. In the free flight modular, we can choose different maps and select different aircrafts. In different models. And each training mode will teach the system function in the first level. And the application of the training modular consists of two parts: power inspection, and the other is search and rescue. We should simulate the operation process of daily line patrol and refined tower patrol. The search and rescue is to drill the whole process of search and rescue in the scenario and try to find out the people who are lost in the dense forests. We will understand and master the aircraft search strategy. The entertainment modular can also serve as a skill practice. Most people would adopt road racing mode. So in the simulator settings, we have custom settings, perspective selection, and the flight function setting. And there are five perspectives. The first is follow the perspective. And the FPV angle of view actually is the view from the camera. Figure path perspectives is from the perspectives of human beings. Flying hand perspective refers to the human beings look at the aircraft without. And the third person perspectives, that is from the third party. We can press the top right button of the remote control or the C key on the keyboard to switch the mode. If you press the return key of the keyboard or press the C2 button of the remote control, you can enter the custom setting interface. We can adjust the control, difficulty, interference, press the CE key, C1 key on the remote control or the P key on the keyboard. You can pause the task and enter the pause interface. We can switch the flight mode. or press the V key on the keyboard to switch the flight mode. P is for GPS, A is for petrol, and S is for movement. And only under P mode and S mode, the aircraft has the self-stabilized function. During the flight, if the aircraft ashes into buildings, trees, and other objects, it may crash. Press the return key once or press the O key. You can return. If the aircraft aircraft with not enough electric power, the return function would be triggered automatically. On the keyboard, if you want to take a picture, you can press H key. And if you want to shoot a video, you can press L key. And accordingly, on the remote controller, photo button is to take a photo, video button is to shoot a video. And there are other functions. For example, the flight altitude limit. The maximum flight altitude is 500 meters. If you press M on keyboard, you can open or close the mini-map. Check. Long press the remote control video button or press the keyboard space key once to open and or close the check display. The interface, interface are different. At present, the Dajiang flight simulators has two languages. One is English, the other is Chinese. There are three joysticks They are joysticks number 1, number 2, and number 3. For the joystick number 1, ups and downs. And on the right, up and down is for speeding up. In the Model 2, the left joystick up and downs is for speeding up. Left and right is for direction. And the right joystick up and down for moving forward and back, moving back. Number 3, the left joystick up and down is for moving forward and backward. On the right, up and down is for speeding up, and left and right is for direction. It is the same with the keys on the keyboard as W, S, D, up, down, left, right. For the first learners, it is advisable for you to choose the Teach School mode. And for the basic flight operation, do the double rocker inward in the figure. Start the motor. And you will press the S and D on the keyboard at the same time. And as you can see from the picture on the right, in P mode, without a level, the drone hover. In the line assessment practice, we should practice landing. Pull down the left or right rocker. FPV flight is from the first person perspective. And now more and more people like the racing simulators. The picture shows the first level. And this is the keyboard setting. And here is flying along the highway. During the flight, we can open the barrier avoidance flight. And the center is the safety zone. Under the FPV perspective, we can check the flying speed, the distance, Now I will demo for you. Connect the remote controller with to the computer via the cable. Now I will demo the Huifei electric power assessment process. The first level is the teach score level. This is the second level. And here is the test items. You can get to know the posture of the aircraft on the left below, as well as the speed. Is in the P mode. Press M on the keyboard to open the map. We can also check the track from the mini map. Flying along the route. If you want the grid mode, you can click the mouse to turn on or turn off. Just now is my demonstration. Okay, let's continue. With this flight simulator, we can practice the aerial photography skills. Next, I'd like to explain or introduce the composition of UAV aerial photography. Number one is the center point composition. It is the most commonly used, in which the subject is placed at the most central position of the screen, and that can attract the attention of the viewers to the greatest extent. Number two is the symmetrical composition. When shooting certain buildings, gardens, and other subjects, symmetrical composition can further enhance the sense of balance and order of the subject. Let's have a look at those pictures, which are taken by the aircraft. Number three, diagonal composition. This kind of composition can add momentum to the picture, enhance appeal, and attract the attention of the audience. Next is the three-point composition. It means that the subject is located at the upper one-third or lower one-third of the horizontal line of the photograph. And this method can make the subject more intuitive in the photograph. It is also commonly used. Now let's get to know the techniques of UAV aerial photography. The first one is the forward and the downward method, which is generally used to show the surrounding environment and the atmosphere and let the audience gradually enter the story. Let's have a look at the video, or you can scan the QR code to watch the forward drop and simulate the transport mirror. So the photos and the videos you've seen in this lecture are all taken by the Dajiang flight simulators. And this is the far away to pull up method. It is usually used at the end of the video and to let the audience gradually leave the story. Also, let's take a look at this video. Sorry, something wrong with the video. You can have a look at the instructions on the PowerPoint. And this is the positive buckle spin rise or fall method. It can highlight the shape of the photographed object, decoration sense. And this is a move sideways, move back, and pull up method. When shooting a moving target, you can use this method. Now let's watch the video. Dajiang Flight Simulators has two versions. One is computer web version, and the other is mobile web version. The computer web version can only be operated with a keyboard. And the operation keys are the same as those of the software version. This website is for the PC web version simulator. Let's enter the website and have a look. This is the operation instruction. The operations are the same. The operations on the PC web version are the same as those of the app version. You can press C on the keyboard to switch the perspective. This is the FPV perspective on the web version. You can have a look at this. If you scan the QR code through mobile phone, you can also log in the web version. And the mobile web version simulator can only use the touch screen button control. Let's take mode 2 as an example. You can learn how to move up, upward, downward, turn left, turn right from the picture. This is the interface of app version. Now we will take another break, about 10 minutes. And after the break, we will come to the questions and answers part. Okay, everybody, let's come back. Here comes to the questions and answers part. Let's see. Do you have any question? Okay.
那行，
我有2个问题。第一个问题是为什么我们要用我有2个问题。第一个是为什么要用大疆的那个飞
这
行器？
大疆之图，大疆之图和什么？
第2个问题是，什么时候这个理论应该是培训结束吧？比赛什么时候开始？
就是比赛什么时候开始？那行，那这边我说一下啊。然后为什么要用大疆之图？因为今年咱们那个金砖主办国今年是中国，然后所以说提供的一些软件都是咱们中国产的。然后什么时候开始比赛？我看一下啊，咱们是11月1号，然后开始11月1号到11月6号。但是中间的话，比赛的时候，比赛中间不能就是打扰，我们会有个开幕式和一个闭幕式，然后中间是不能跟开幕式和闭幕式冲突的。
Okay, for your first question, why we use 大疆? That is because the competition is hosted by China this year, so we will use the softwares made by China. And for the second question, when will the competition begin? It will be held on the 1st to 6th of November. So that is the answers to your questions. You are welcome. 第2个问题是中文问的，选手是几号去厦门？
比赛前的话我们会通知的，比赛前的话组委会会通知的，然后现在这个东西我也不太确定。
Or the contestant will wait for the notice.
还有问题吗？
Is there any other question? Is there any more question?
大家也可以打开麦，然后来问。
呀，这个问题也是中文的。区域赛晋级名单什么时候公布？
这个东西，这个我不太了解，因为这个是组委会他们管的。有声音。嗯，照片是可以导出的，然后在咱们的那个就根目录的文件夹内，然后是可以找到它的。嗯，对的，对的，有一个 DFS 文件夹。对的，对的。嗯嗯嗯。哦，其他模式它变换吗？都不变换。键盘的切换它可以切换吗？键盘切换也没有反应。这有可能是你的就是大疆飞行模拟那个软件儿应该有什么文件丢失了。你可以就是你可以把它那个电力版的重新下载一下。嗯比赛是使用电力版的吗？然后这个目前我也不太清楚，不太确定。然后最后还是看组委会的通知。大家还有问题吗？哦，比赛用什么型号的遥控器？遥控器的话，反正是肯定是咱那个我们大疆飞行模拟那个软件肯定是能用的，但具体提供什么遥控器，目前我也不太确定。但是遥控器的咱们所有的就是功能，咱们都是可以看得到，都是可以在那个模拟器头是可以看到的。
So any more question?
我们等到9点10分，如果大家还没有问题的话，我们就先结束了。
Okay, if there is no more questions, the lecture will finish at 9 past 10.
梁老师，就是如果大家都没有问题的话，然后就是你给他们说一下，就是咱们打开就摄像头，然后咱们留影和念，就是留影和留影纪念一下，然后咱们就结束吧。
好的，好的。Okay, so please turn on your camera. Let's take a photo together. Okay, everybody, would you please turn on your camera? Okay, let's turn on the camera and smile. Take a photo together. Okay, thank you for your cooperation.
那行，好的啊，谢谢大家。然后明天的话，然后晚上我们会还有那个我们这个近战训练营，然后希望大家按时参加啊。今天的训练营到此结束了。
Okay, so much for today's lecture. Thank you for listening, and let's meet tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
好，谢谢大家。那梁老师，那我这边就结束会议了。
Okay.